Hello, darlings! It's your favorite ghoul friend Elvira here to share some tales that will make your skin crawl. We all feel that little pull, don't we? That urge to peek behind a closed door, to wander where we're not supposed to go. Curiosity, they call it. But sometimes, what you find in those forbidden places is not a dusty old secret, a forgotten treasure. Sometimes what's waiting for you has been waiting for a very long time. It's patient, it's hungry, and it doesn't like visitors. So, lean in closer, my little horrors. These aren't your typical campfire stories. These are the real deal. True accounts from people who dared to cross a line. Our first story comes from a couple of college kids, Leo and Mia. They were young, in love, and frankly, a little dumb. Looking for a cheap thrill, they decided to explore the old Blackwood Manor on the edge of town, a classic haunted house cliché, a decaying Victorian with windows like vacant eyes and a cursed reputation. The original family vanished without a trace a century ago. The place rotted as the town grew around it. They slipped through a broken fence. The front door was sealed by rust, but a shattered window offered a dark, jagged invitation. Leo went first into the musty air. Mia followed, her beam cutting the dark. The house was a time capsule, furniture like silent ghosts, dust preserving a life abruptly ended. From the foyer into a long, dark hall, a penetrating cold seeped into their bones. Then they heard it. A soft whisper slithering from the walls, too faint to discern, but undeniably there. It grew stronger as they neared a closed door. The sound changed, a child humming an off-key nursery rhyme. Mia wanted to leave, Leo was hooked. He reached for the knob and the humming stopped the instant he touched it. Slowly, with a groan from the old hinges, Leo pushed the door open. A child's nursery, frozen in the 19th century. A rocking horse with painted eyes, a crib, a single cracked porcelain doll. The air grew colder, breath visible. The whispering started again from right behind them. Mia spun. Nothing there. The nursery door slammed. Leo dropped his light. Long dancing shadows crawled. Panic. Leo's fingers brushed something smooth. Mia's beam revealed dozens of tiny white objects. Children's teeth. The rocking horse began to move, and then faster, frantic wood screaming. The knob jammed. Their screams vanished into the room's hush. The rocking stopped, and the door creaked open on its own. They bolted. They ran, dove into the car, and sped away. Blackwood shrinking in the mirror. The doll, the teeth, the rocking horse. Nightmares, whispers at home, paranoia. A shared secret that pushed them apart. A year later, researchers restored an old family photo. Behind the Blackwood stood two extra figures. Even grainy, the faces were unmistakable. It was Leo and Mia. Don't you just love a family photo? Our next tale takes us to a shopping mall. Not Black Friday, my pets. After the last gates roll down. It belongs to Dave, a young security guard at the old, half-abandoned Hawthorne Mall. The anchor, Middleton's, was a 3-story tomb. Corporate said, no entry, power cut, doors chained. But curiosity found a way. A service door ajar, chain unlatched. He should have called. He didn't. He slipped the chain, pushed through stale plastic and decay, and stepped inside. Darkness swallowed his flashlight. Rows of mannequins stood in silent judgment, blank faces, unnatural poses, missing limbs, chipped smiles, like a waiting army. He felt watched by 100 unblinking eyes. He climbed to the second floor, a ghostly ball of gowns and dust. One mannequin stood wrong. A faded blue dress, arm outstretched. In the directory photo, its arms were at its sides. He shrugged it off. Then came a sound below, a soft scraping, like something dragged across tile. He killed his light and listened. A shape moved. One of the mannequins, dragging itself. Slow, deliberate, plastic on tile. Panic rose. He ran. Displays crashed. The scraping quickened, keeping pace. He hit the service stairs and exploded into the lit mall. He never looked back. He quit the next day. Security reviewed the footage. Cameras showed him entering, then fleeing in panic. Seconds later, the service door pulled shut from the inside, by a pale, slender hand. Middleton stayed chained. Some inventory just refuses to be written off. 4 teenagers, Mark, Sarah, Ben, and Chloe, went looking to cool off on a hot day. The public pool was packed, so Mark led them to an abandoned house with a backyard pool. Not crystal clear, but not a swamp either. Dark, deep, strangely inviting. They jumped in. The water was shockingly, unnaturally cold. Colder than any lake, sucking warmth from their bones. They laughed it off until Chloe felt something brush her leg. Not Ben. He was across the pool. The feeling of being watched from the empty house grew overwhelming. Muscles stiffened, teeth chattered. Sarah said to get out. Mark wanted one last lap. Halfway across he froze, pale. He could feel something under the water with him. Not a brush. A solid presence, cold skin touching his feet, as if people were standing on the bottom. They climbed out, but the cold stayed with them for days. Some pools are kept clean, others are kept occupied. Ethan, a young photographer, hunted abandoned places. He found the Silas farm. Old man Silas vanished in the 70s. His tractor left running. The farm decayed for decades. Heavy and sorrowful, perfect for his lens. He stepped into the cavernous barn, dust lit like gold, and framed the sunset. Through the viewfinder, a long shadow reached across the field. A tall, thin man with a wide-brimmed hat, like a farmer. He lowered the camera. No one there. Back through the lens, the shadow stayed. Dread washed over him. The barn darkened fast. He turned to leave and saw it inside. Stretched across the floor, pointing directly at him. He ran and lived to develop the film. The house and fields looked hauntingly beautiful, but every frame taken inside or toward the barn was just black, a total void. Old man Silas may have vanished, but his shadow stayed to tend the farm. Well, my little goblins, the lights are on, but are you still feeling safe? We've walked through a haunted mansion, a dead mall, a cold pool, and a lonely farm. These places seem so ordinary, don't they? They hide in the forgotten corners of our world. A no trespassing sign isn't just a warning, it's a kindness. Protection from what's on the other side. Next time a broken fence or open door tempts you, remember these stories. The whispers in the walls, the mannequin's cold plastic hand, the chill of dark water, the shadow with no owner. Ask if the thrill's worth the risk. Once you cross that line, you can't always cross back, and something might follow you out. Lock your doors, check under your bed, and stay out of places you don't belong. Until next time, unpleasant dreams.